My name is Ian Walsh with Hard Money Bankers, joined today in the videos here with Josh Wyman, TCS Investments. We've gone over some good in-depth discussion about what the turnkey model is and so forth. One of the things I wanted to talk about was, so I have an understanding of what it is, but how do I get involved? Like, walk me through the process as a client. So if I'm a client and I say I want to come to you and do some turnkey investing, how do I go about this? Like, how does it start? Just give me a walkthrough. Yeah.
Okay, so we are not the perfect investment for every investor.
Okay.
I mean, and that's really important to understand. You know, people invest for many different ways, and we'll kind of get into that with one of the other videos. But one of the first thing that we try to do is try to identify, number one, what does the investor want out of the investment? Like, what's the goal? Some people are looking for a place to park their cash. They don't really care about a return. They just want to make sure that they want to protect that money. Other people, they're looking for cash flow, and that's the most important thing. How much can they make on a monthly basis? And then you have others that, hey, look, this is long term. We're looking 10, 20, 30 years down the line, that the value as of right now doesn't really matter. It's more so, hey, look, we want cash flow, we want a secure and consistent asset, and we want something that is going to perform. So our whole process starts with an initial phone call. And you can go to the TCS Investments website at, therealestatetheeasyway.com, and fill out or schedule a initial phone call. It's 10 or 15 minutes. And basically during that phone call, we're going to determine, what are your goals with the investment? And number two, is this the right investment for you? It may or may not. We have a couple different outlets at TCS Investments, but the focus here is on the turnkey model. Is this something that you're looking to invest in? If we determine, yep, this is a good fit for you, the next step is to schedule a little bit longer overview. And at that point, I'm going to get on the phone with you. I'm going to share my computer screen and take you through the specifics of these are the areas we're investing. These are the type of renovations that we're doing. And when it comes down to it, what kind of numbers can you expect as far as returns, and how do we make those calculations? What are the expenses, and all that kind of stuff. After we go through that, Ian can attest to this. We built, when we were wholesaling, we built this humongous email list, right? It was like 40-some thousand people. And sometimes we'd send out a property to our investors, and it would take 4 or 5 days to get all the emails out. So, we got a great deal. 3 days later, it's already sold. It hits your email box, you're calling right away, and we're going, sorry, it's sold. I mean, it turned off a lot of people.
Yeah.
So what we do is we take orders, okay? So we've got an investor, they're looking for a cash flow investment. What we're going to do is we're going to go out and find a specific asset that meets their investment needs. Okay, and we pair one asset to one investor, and then we'll create a pro forma and send it over, and then we go through the pro forma. It's like this is the renovations, these are the returns, this is the cost of the investment, this is the warranties, this is expected rental rates, things like that. At that point, 50% of the time we hit the nail on the head, and the investor's ready to take the next step. If not, we'll go out and find something else, but we need feedback on exactly what they're looking for.
Okay.
At that point, we send out the contracts, do all that kind of stuff, and then it goes to our construction team. So between the time that we have an agreement in place and the time we go to settlement, our renovation costs are, they're chiseled in stone, so to speak.
Sure.
But the scope of work gets a lot more detailed.
Okay.
Our construction team goes out and we do an itemized room by room property breakdown scope of work. And then from there, we go to settlement. Once we close on the property, within 7 days, 3 things are going to happen. Number one, within 24 hours of settlement, our clients are going to get an email with all of their documents, all the closing docs and things like that for their records. Second, within 7 days from settlement, we're starting construction on the property.
Okay.
And the third thing is, within 7 days, you're going to get a physical copy of all of those closing documents and things like that.
Interesting.
So after during the construction phase, communication is key. And so what we do is, on a weekly basis, there's 2 points of contact that we go through. Every Friday, we're emailing out our investors with a breakdown of, this is the work that got done last week. Here's some pictures of the renovations. Here's what's planned for next week. And that goes out on Friday for a purpose. So now the investor goes home over the weekend, check the email, they go through this, and hey, there's going to be questions that come up. Hey, how do you deal with this? How do you deal with that? Are we still on schedule? Are we still on budget? Everything's great. Yes. So Monday, I'm reaching out to the investors, and we do a short phone call. And as often as not, it's a 5-minute call. Hey, Josh, how you doing? That kind of thing. But if there's any questions that come up, it allows our investors to prepare for the call and not feel like they're put on the spot. Like, oh, well, I didn't have a chance to review the email. I didn't have enough time to go through it. That sort of thing. Once we get towards the tail end of the renovations, at that point, we're about a week left in the renovations. Everything gets sent over to TCS to lease up the property. They start marketing it, hold some open houses, and lease the property. It's a good process where the leasing team is able to screen the best tenants, present a couple options to the investor, and the investor ultimately gets to choose which is the best match for their comfort level. And then from there, everything goes over to the TCS investments team TCS management team, and it goes right into the system and plugs away from there. So
that's a good explanation as to how it works. Now, before we wrap up the video, where would people go? You had mentioned a link earlier.
Sure, absolutely. You can go to our website. It's called realestatetheeasyway.com.
Realestatetheeasyway.com. That's a good way to get there. Okay, perfect. So keep following us along. We have a good set of videos for everybody, and we'll go from there.
Perfect.